What's up, party people? It's Keys Dan with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do you go? DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote. And maybe you can have me at your next event. I like to party with the people. You know, wedding season's coming up, and I know we're starting to break out of this coronavirus lockdown, this quarantine, but yeah, we're starting to do some weddings. I'm starting to book some stuff. I'm so excited. At least I have my Friday night show at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, so I'm stoked about that. Yeah. The parties are coming out. The people are starting to break out. Yes, we're still social distancing. We still have some precautions in place. So, but as we break out into the world and start the economy back up. Oh, today on the program, speaking of entertaining the people, I have Codie Westwood of the Creatures of Clay band, and you get to hear more about him in the next few minutes. So stick around for that. All right, like I alluded to, this week's shows is the Rab in Conway, Arkansas on Friday night. That's the video dance party, karaoke jam. It starts at 8 p.m. So, yeah, you don't want to miss that. As of last week on Friday night, I did the Rab, and it was so good. And then on Saturday night, I was at the Choctaw VFW in Choctaw, Arkansas. So that was great. It's good to be out playing with the people. The people need to be entertained. So I'm so excited about that. All right, let's get into it with Codie Westwood of the Creatures of Clay band. Let's see. I guess we're going to do this on Zoom. So if you're listening to the audio portion of this, you're going to get to see the video. If you want to look that up, it's on my YouTube page. So, yeah, let's Zoom Codie Westwood now.
Here we go.
Now flip a light on so we can see you.
Oh, you can't see me. All
You're
right.
in
I
the
don't
dark.
want to scare too many people. How's that?
Ah, you are such a pretty man. Look at you.
Oh yeah, right, brother.
Gorgeous, I tell you. All right. The
Now, are you in Texas?
I'm in Conway, Arkansas, just north of Little Rock.
Oh, Arkansas. Oh, okay. Well, I can still wear a hat. I was thinking Texas, Arkansas. I knew it was somewhere out there, and they wear hats.
Somewhere out there where we wear hats. I don't know if I have a hat anywhere near me in this
Now,
studio.
I have driven through Arkansas before, but I have never actually stopped there.
That's right. It's
What's
one
it
of those.
like out in Arkansas?
It's a flyover state. All right. Codie
All right.
Westwood in the house on the What Makes You Famous podcast. Keys Dan coming at you, seeing your smiling face, man. I'll put this up on YouTube for the people that are listening to just the audio version of this. It'll be also on YouTube. So find it. Look up Codie Westwood, What Makes You Famous. Codie Westwood, let the people know who you are.
Oh yeah. Well, the guy plays music. Love that's been doing it for many years. See what else can I think about?
How
Just
many years? How many?
well, I mean, if you look at me, if you guess my age, I'll let you know.
25, somewhere around there.
How old?
25 years old, something like that.
You're such a kind man. So you're gonna have to add on a lot because I was in the '90s and bands back then too, and even some '80s. I was in bands and tons of bands. I'm trying to remember. There's so many bands. It's been crazy, but I always loved being in bands. Played a lot of covers. Always admired a lot of the guys around here. There was a guy from Maryland that was in Ridgemount High, one of the was it one of the movies, and was raised on the radio. So it was kind of cool. Always thought it was neat. There's some Zappas from Maryland. Some people from Maryland around here too.
Well, Cody, I listen to, and I'm hearing, like a mixture between punk and rock and some metal in there. It's really
everything.
driven. It's got such a feel to it, man. But it's just, you can't put it in one box. There's all kinds of genres that are mixed in together. And with your vocal,
I did that on purpose. Music with a twist means, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000 and up. Kind of. I wanted to have a flavor for everybody. That was my goal for this project. I got sick of being with everybody. I am the band. It's just me and another guy.
right?
John Grant's the studio owner. He's a fantastic musician. He plays leads like there's no tomorrow. So you listen to those leads, that's John Grant. He's fantastic. That guy's just amazing, man. And it was weird how I ran into him. I did the song "Lay It Down." I don't know if you heard that one yet, but it was my first song. My lead player quit. He's like, "I'm not doing it." I was like, "What?" I booked the time at the studio and everything. I was like, "What do you mean?" Like, I'm playing everything else. I got a bass stand and singing, doing anything. I said, "I need leads, dude. I'm not that good. I'm okay, but I need somebody that's like really good." And he's good. So John was like the owner and said, "Hey, I'll do it." And I was like, "All right, cool." So that's where "Lay It Down" came in. And my mouth dropped to the floor like, "Whoa, he's amazing." So that's how that all happened. And so now it's just me and him, and I'm doing all these songs and writing everything. I write everything, and my acoustic, and go in and bust them out. Cool, like it a lot. Actually, it's fun. Been enjoying it. I'm really getting a lot of good feedback, especially the new one I just put out, "All Alone." Everybody seems to like that one a lot.
Well, Cody Westwood, it seems like streamlining is the way to go. You don't need to have 100 people in your band. Back in the 70s, you used to have bands like Chicago and Earth, Wind and Fire and all these bands that used to have 20 folks up there. But now you could streamline it. Do you use a lot of synthesizers, or you basic?
It's just the technology that we have today. Pro Tools. He's got nice boards. Good sounds. We do the flavors of everybody that's out there, from your Led Zeppelins to Eddie Van Halen to Ozzy Osbourne to everything. If you listen to my music, everybody's in there. I kind of wanted to do it that way. Of course, I'm not playing their songs, but it's the style of music that they play, and I wanted to put something together. Because personally, between me and you, I can't stand the music out there today. I'm sorry. I'm just not really happy with the mainstream music. The indie music has been pretty decent. There's some really great artists that are on this thing, that on this ride that I'm on right now. And the actual artists on the radio, a lot of guys like you are popping up now all over the place, man. Music is changing, and the music industry knows it, and they're scrambling, and they don't know what to do about it.
Yeah, the thing about it at Cody Westwood, you are the music that's out right now. You don't have to box yourself up with all the pop that's out there. Yeah, there's a few stations that'll play just the top 20 songs and just keep
Right.
playing those same 20 songs over and over. But you and I,
Yeah.
we know, there's many, many more songs than just those 20 songs. And
Oh
mention,
man, I know I ran across so many artists. I'll tweet them at them. Like, I love it. I got a whole playlist of songs I can listen to now that I enjoy. I don't have to listen to what the mainstream tells you to do. Like, this is what you're going to listen to. Now everybody has a choice, which is like, that's why I got into it too, because everybody's got a choice today. And I believe so heartedly. I sell downloads. That's like unheard of for people that can actually sell music today. You know what I mean? Everybody wants it for free. But if you figure you write a good song, hopefully people will buy it. And then they have. And I want to thank the fans and all my friends and all who bought that song. Pretty cool, man. I love it. It's been fun.
I think I've mentioned that I'm talking to Cody Westwood, but I really haven't mentioned your band, the Creatures of Clay band. And how did that name come about? Creatures of Clay. It sounds
Well,
kind of biblical to me.
it is. God calls us creatures. I'm a spiritual man. God calls us creatures. We made us out of clay. And my songs are based about all, like, a lot of things like that. And some of my songs will be, you won't know about it, but even "All Alone" talks about a few things. But yeah, it's from that, and the band's me, John and I, and then whoever I hire if I ever play out. So, I play with a lot of guys. They're all like, "Yeah, if the money's good, I'll be there." I know a lot of good musicians. They're really decent.
So you work with a lot of hired guns. Now, I'm guessing you're the guitarist of the band, and what does the other guy play?
John plays bass guitar. I play bass guitar. John plays guitar. I play guitar. John plays leads. He's a better lead player than I am, and he's very talented. As Cody Westwood, I sing. John does also sing. He does the backup for me on all the stuff. So it's just a really great team, just between both of us. There's so much talent there that I don't have to get anybody else. You know,
That's pretty
which
cool.
I don't need. But yeah, yeah. Well, we created a sound. If you listen to the music, it's all the same guitars and stuff, but a couple different things.
Yeah, that you
It's
could
been a
play.
lot. It's been a decent ride. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, no problem. I was just interjecting, but you could play different instruments and redub them over and over. But that's not what you used to do back in the day. I'm 51 years old. I graduated in 1986. I'm guessing you're somewhere around the same age, maybe
Yeah, I'm 55. I'll give my age up.
55,
Yeah,
maybe a couple years younger, older than me. But
older than
certainly we
oh.
chewed a lot of the same dirt. And back then, when you were starting to play music, you said you played in bands back in high school. What were you
Oh,
what
yeah.
were you mostly covering back then?
I covered the Who, AC/DC, all that stuff. That was the stuff, back then in high school.
And
Rush,
where did you grow up there, Cody Westwood?
I grew up in Towson. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It's outside Baltimore. Towson College is right around that area. And then I moved out to the northern part of, of Maryland, which is kind of near Pennsylvania line. We call it the Mason-Dixon line. Mason-Dixon were two guys that drew out that line. These two fellows. If you know your history, some people know it.
You know what's funny is
It's pretty.
I talk about the Mason
With,
Dixon line, and I haven't spent a lot of time north of the Mason Dixon, not by really by choice or anything. I was born in Miami, and I've primarily stayed in the South, and I think I might have cruised across I-40, cruising across this great state of ours. I'm not sure if that's north of the Mason Dixon. I think that just might be the Mason Dixon is I-40. Is that right? Am I somewhere in the area?
yeah, I guess it would be kind of like that. I mean, it's like the south. We're south of we're not Northerners and we're not Southerners, Marylanders. The Southerners will say we're Northerners, and the Northerners say we're Southerners. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, I've always been told I'm from Miami, which is as far south as you can go, pretty much, South Florida.
Pretty much.
But we're called Yankees, from Florida, because most of the people that retire there are from New York and from your neck of the woods out there in the Maryland and
Yeah,
Pennsylvania
a lot of
area.
New Yorkers they love going down Florida. That's a nice place.
So I mean, yeah, I know you've been, and here I ended up in Conway, Arkansas, and you've been through
Pretty
here.
well.
You said you've never stopped here. This is one of the flyover states, I guess.
I drove through it. I was headed
Okay,
out to California.
I got it. I got it. Yes, I've done that California trip myself, going up the 75 up Florida and out the 10 to the 8 to go to San Diego, and then up the 5 to
Oh yeah.
oh, so definitely. I mean, I sound like one of those Californians in the Saturday Night Live skits that they have out there. But I mean, going back to
Yeah, California.
yeah,
I don't know. I was out there in the '80s. I wanted to be an actor too. I was young. So I was out on the beach, like Venice Beach and all that out there. So, and I was young back then. But it's very beautiful. From like my uncle lives in Santa Monica, and when the mountains go down, and with the pollution and all, it goes down, and you can see the beach and you can see the ocean and the mountains. It's like so beautiful. So it was amazing. I used to really think, but it was too many people for me. I don't know about now too. Everything that's going on, I was like, I don't know if I want to be out there now. Woo.
well, I mean, all the
California
people
sounds
that
so
live in
crazy.
the bigger towns are all locked up because of this coronavirus thing. So yeah, being in a
Oh,
smaller town
no.
might be the way to go.
How's your town going with this corona?
Way you wouldn't even know that anything was even going on. We're I keep my distance from people. I'm not hugging anymore, but for the most part, I'm not wearing a mask, and I'm not. Now 2 months after it just broke out, I'm finally able to go out and do some gigs. So I've done three karaoke shows in the last 2 weeks. So I'm kind of excited about
Hmm.
that. My Friday night gigs are back.
Yeah, I haven't been able to play out, so I've been doing a lot. I don't know if you look at any of my videos. I've been doing these really funny, trying to do videos to push my music. So I put all this stuff up, and what I've been doing. I've been bored doing that. Can't play out. I got all kinds of odd jobs. I'm doing landscaping and things, and getting burnt from being outside too much. I was like, hey, I got to find something to do because I'm bored. I'm telling you, I'm really bored.
Oh, we got to do what we can to thrive and survive. And I know that you
It
have
is
Veronica Gilson out there. She's promoting you very well, making all these fancy graphics to promote your music. And it's funny, Veronica Gilson, we were talking to each other, and we have the same last name. My actual last name
Oh,
is
good, man.
Gilson.
You guys cousins?
I thought we might be related, but she said no. She's more from the Northwest, I believe, is where she has
Oh,
the
okay.
Pacific Northwest, and here I am from the far southeast of this great country of ours, the United States of America. But
You're funny. You never know, though. You might be like some long distance cousin or something. Gilson in the
long
same name.
lost. Well, it's good to have people on your side. It's good to give credit where credit is due. And I know she's been promoting you, and you have your you've already given tell to your producer, the guy who's helping you to run the computer parts, and But were you a touring band back in the '80s? Back then, back in the early '80s, were you?
Yeah, the best band I was. Now I did cover bands. The original bands never were very successful. I mean, it was like really weird music. So, very artsy people and, all kinds of, through all kinds of different singers. Cause I never really sang. I always tell the story of the lead singer disease that most lead singers get. I'm very good now and you guys suck. I'm out of here. So we're like, what? I lost a lot of deal. I lost a really major deal like that through Atlantic Records with Close to Normal back in 2008 and 7. And the singer just walked out on a big deal. And people were all like, wow, man, the music was phenomenal. And I produced it. I had, and the lead singer, she had a little disability, so maybe that was the problem. I don't know. But the poor guy had a 15-minute song, and I told him, I said, no, man, we got to cut it down to at least 4 minutes. He almost cried, like really, like real tears. I said, well, there's no such thing as a 15-minute song. You're not Queen. They did something 7 minutes, okay? I said, we're nobody. I said, if you want me to do the song, we have to, cut it down. But they get an attitude. I started singing, and this is where this came about. 10 years in making, though. It took me 10 years to do this.
Yeah, it took you 10 years to be an overnight success. A lot of people think that it happened like that, but you've it sounds like you've wandered around this country trying to try different things creatively. You've gone out to California to be an actor. I mean, we'll definitely explore that. I mean, how far did that go, Codie?
Not good. Not good. Well, I have to say, sorry for the phone people coming in. I would have to say, back in the day, everybody knows drugs are bad, right? And you would agree, heroin and cocaine and pills and all that drinking and all that stuff. I was young and very impressionable, and it didn't work out for me. I was kind of getting into that stuff, and I had to leave because I wasn't gonna straighten and do that to myself. So I went back to where I came from because I knew if I stayed there, I probably wouldn't live long. And so yeah, it didn't work out for the
So
act.
that kind of stuff, you weren't exposed to that back in Maryland. How was the family life?
No, no, not like that. No, no. I didn't even know what a gay guy was. So I had no idea until I went out to California. I found out real fast.
So
So, and I was, I was a young, impressionable kid, 17, 18 years old. So what are you going to do? You know
yep.
what I mean? I didn't know. I
So
didn't.
how was it
Just
a
wanted to
little
be an
Cody?
actor.
How was a little
What's
Cody
that?
Westwood growing up in Maryland in the USA? As you were growing up, was it all music, or was there any extracurricular activities that you were doing back in high school?
Work. I'm actually an electrician by trade. I worked and everything besides doing music. I mean, I always needed money, to fund the projects and stuff like that. Always worked.
Well, that's
Handyman
good.
business, you name it. I can build. I went to college. I did. I'm not a dropout kind of guy or anything. I kind of didn't want to live that life. After that 18-year-old experience, I came back, and really like worked really hard. And I always did music. I mean, I always recorded. Always had bands. Always
Yeah.
played at night. Always went out. Always tried to make it in music. All because it was something a love that I have. But in the meantime, that's the B plan. It's always been the B plan. It's never the A plan because that's never going to work out for you. Sometimes you know how hard it is. Look at it. I guess you got to sign with the devil to make it these days. I seem like. But I figured, I just with the technology today, I put this together. It was like, it's a good idea to put this together. You have the free sharing and caring. You don't have to pay for anything. you write good songs, they should come, right? That's what I figured. And then sell downloads, and it'd be like a part-time job.
Well, I mean,
Or
you're telling
maybe
you're giving a good lesson for the kids. It's not like you can. It's good to have music in your heart and try to make a go of it, but a lot of times you got to have a regular Joe job to fund the side projects that you want, and then hopefully the dream ultimately is to give up all those Joe jobs, take a bet on yourself, and go off and make music for the people and make a living off of that.
right.
How rare is it when that happens? How many people can really
Well,
say
yeah, that's
made
that.
it out?
It's very difficult. You got like guys like you come in and having an interview, man. I really appreciate it. This has been very. This is like a really trip for me because I couldn't even get anybody to listen to my music back in the day. Hey, could you listen to my song? You get turned down by record labels, and you have like a little 50 following that follows you around, some groupies and stuff like that. That's kind of how it was, really. Unless you were in the major label, you couldn't do anything. Even if you were, I know guys, they're so talented here, nothing happened for them, nothing, nothing. And they were really good. And it was a shame you couldn't make any money at it. One band decided, you need to, the record company told them that you need to do your hair all blonde and you need to do the blonde look. And they said, no, I'm not doing all that crap. They walked away from it, because they didn't want to tell them what to do with their music and everything. Because they would tell you what to do. If you want to be this, you're going to have to do this. And then you have to abide by their rules. And I'm kind of like a rebel in this one because now I'm like, oh, I don't need you. I don't need the record company because I have the people. If they like it, they'll go to my website and they'll buy it. Right?
Well, that's what comes with wisdom, man. When you're growing up, you probably dealt with a lot of people that wanted to package you up in a certain kind of way. Oh, grow your hair out long, put it in a braid,
Right.
wear this kind of clothes. But once you grow up, you figure out, you know what? I don't care about those people. You don't have much to, care for people. And now you could do it on your own. You could be an independent guy and put it out on Spotify and iTunes and out there on SoundCloud
Right.
and even YouTube, and the people can listen to you. And then hopefully they'll hire you out to do a show. Is that something that you're wanting to do, or something that you want that you were doing until the whole pandemic came around?
Until the stupid pandemic came around, I was I was hitting some gigs. I was playing with some people. I always did. Always sat in and came. I'm pushing Creatures of Clay and myself. I'd go out and sit in and do a couple songs. A couple guys. I know a lot of musicians, some really cool people. So go hang out with them. We'll go to one of their gigs. I'll sit in for a couple songs. They like me come in. I'll play some songs with them and stuff. That's usually how it works around here. It's kind of like a group thing. We all know each other. The guys
Yeah,
that play, they play out.
I know we got a local place called TC's here in Conway, Arkansas, and on Sunday night, it's a free for all. It's a big Sunday night
Right.
jam, and what it is all the local artists, guitarists, drummers, singers, bassists, piano players, keyboards, whatever. They'll all go to TC's on a Sunday night and just jam together. And they promote each other, and the crowd gets to know, oh, this is this guy from that group. Oh, this is this guy from that group. Oh, yeah, this is the singer from Creatures of Clay. Come and sit in with us. Oh, check it out. And that way people get an idea of who your bands are. And that's great that you're sitting in on other people's bands and helping them with their
Right.
projects. That's what we have to be.
Right. And what you're doing too is great. You're getting new music out there for people to listen to. Everybody has a different taste in all kinds of music. We're so inundated with all the pop artists today and the hip hop artists that I feel as though rock and roll is kind of like really taken to the wayside now. I listened to the rock station here and I was like, man, what happened? I turned it on. You have a sounded like Led Zeppelin group, Greta Van Fleet. They sound exactly like Led Zeppelin to me. I mean, they're good, but I like Led Zeppelin. So I don't think I would listen to Greta Van Fleet that much. They got a couple of songs really good, but I'm just not interested because it sounds just like that. I was like, is that Led Zeppelin?
Well, if you like that sound, it's going to keep them alive because Led
Right.
Zeppelin's not going to be around for forever. The kids are going to take that sound, and what you're doing is helping to perpetuate that sound. You got the Who in your background, and AC/DC, and Led
Yeah,
Zeppelin, and
everybody. But see that is this the thing is, if you listen to that music though, can you tell that it's that, or is it like, can you say that's just a certain sound? How would you classify my music if you would classify?
Yeah, like I said, it doesn't have to sound exactly like that. You got a little punk flair, but it's really bass driven. I listen to it and I hear the bass just pump right through your soul, man, when you're listening to Creatures of Clay music. And it's just, it's, I don't even think that the lyrics really matter that much, but the lyrics to you, it seems like they feel that they're very personal, and you've taken them and they're from biblical teachings maybe that you've come up with. Is that something that you were doing? Were you going to Sunday school a lot as a kid? Is that what affected your life, or
Uh,
is that something you found now?
no, not really. Some of the songs, "Lay It Down" was an introduction for "Hello, My Friend. I'm glad you could attend." That was just talking to everybody for getting my start. And my son comes over here all the time, and I always entertain him. And I was singing that to him. It's like, "Hello, my friend." So that's where "Lay It Down" came from. The next song I put out, "Left and Right," that has to do with a political song. Left and right explode like a stick of dynamite. That has to do with everything that's going on ever since the administration changed over. I'm not really a political person, but I just think that it's sad that we are where we're at. But anyway, so then the next song was "Springtime of Opportunity." I did that for the autistic children. If you listen to the lyrics, I'm feeling stronger at all. Her son, Veronica, he has autism, and left and right has to do with that too, about sticking a needle in your arm. A lot of poisons in a lot of the vaccines that cause these children to have all these things. It's very sad. So that's what that song's about, really. Is that this? That's why I let them do the video. Uh, they wanted to do the video, and I was like, okay, I'm compelled to help them out. So most of that song proceeds go to uh, for the autism awareness, for helping and let people know that it's not good to vaccinate your children. This could happen to them pretty much, and they need to stop doing what they're doing.
You
So
see,
that's where that song came from.
you say that you don't have a lot of views, but your views do come through in your music, man. Whatever you're thinking in your head comes right out on that paper. And the left or right,
Right.
yeah. I mean, a lot of people are very disheartened with the way things are. We only have two parties in this country, two choices. That's the choices we have. Really, that's what we got. And
I
then
know it's like I said. I had I don't know. I tweet out some stupid stuff sometimes, but I found a thing of George Washington, and he was in a really nice muscle car. He was riding down. I tweeted it out, and I was like, yeah, we need to have George Washington come back and be resurrected. Because if he came back, he would probably hang a bunch of people. I tell you, the country's not where it should be. The Constitution should be followed. It's sad that you're older like myself, and the Constitution means something. They have militarized the police. I mean, they have done so much that we have seen in these past years. They've taught the children, socialism. I was like, we're actually facing socialism. I was like, well, what happened? I just turned my head around, going, what do you mean? I thought this was like where you make the money is America. And I was like, oh, what happened? I hope we don't become a socialist. I hope I'm dead. I don't want to. I want to be dead and gone before this country becomes socialist. I don't want to be around here for that.
I think socialism has become a bad word. We do have socialist things, man. We have the police department and the fire department that we all pay for with our taxes, and even teachers and other things that we pay for with our taxes. So there's a little bit of socialism in there. It's just a part of the system. Yes, we love our capitalism for sure, man. But I think that little bit of socialism, just the word really triggers people. But you realize that there are
Well,
some.
we already have it here.
Yeah,
We already have it here. We have it up there. We have that's part of like socialism too, because you give people money. That's giving them money. You don't want to the government give you money. Anytime you hear government, Reagan would be like, be scared. You hear government, they would be like, hello, we're government, we're here to help you. Just ask India that one.
yeah,
That's the old everything.
I know.
And all the treaties, they go, yeah, but they were savages. I said, yeah, but they wrote the treaties. They're still.
I know. Growing up
That's
in
what
the
they say. And
I,
history's funny, though, don't you?
now, growing up in the '80s, I always heard that Republicans were small government and Democrats were big government, but it's just not that. it's all big government. Once they want to get their powers, they don't want to give it back, man. So there's a lot to that. But going on the other song that you were talking about with your autism, you're saying that vaccines was the problems that caused the autism.
Well, it hasn't been proven because it's been hidden, and I truly believe that. I really believe people need to do the research and look. I looked into it, and that's why I did what I did. And I thought about it for a long time, so I get involved. It was my business for a son, and it's been so wonderful and everything. So I was like, you know what? Let me. So I did it, and I looked into it, and I did what I did. So, and now I know I have knowledge from it, and I recommend people just go look into it. I would recommend not getting vaccinated at all.
Uh-oh. Shoot.
Are you good?
There he is. Oh my goodness. I think you got caught up in an anti-vax with a conspiracy there.
I heard me talking about it and they cut me off.
No, I mean I've heard it on both sides. I've heard the controversy on it. For me the science.
Do your own research, my friend, and good luck. That's how I say it. I'll pray for everybody. Good luck, man.
All right. Well, hey, I know I got vaccinated when I was a kid. I still got the scar on the arm that everybody's got.
Yeah.
that one little scar that all the kids got back in my day. Was that the polio vaccine?
I wasn't right as a kid.
But all right, man. I mean, learning about you, Codie Westwood. I mean, there's music in there. It's always been there. Who got you hooked on the?
God rest his soul. My uncle. When I was a child, he had my mom and dad had all their 45s, so I would listen to all that. From everything, from Rock Around the Clock. You remember all that stuff, all that stuff, everything you could possibly think from Elvis, everything, so all 50. Then came the 60s, and you got the Beach Boys, you got all that stuff going through there, Frankie Valli, blah, blah, go through all that. Then comes the 70s, and my uncle, he's 60, died at 63 just this past year. He got into Bachman Turner Overdrive. Guess who? I fell in love with Olivia Newton-John. That was my first crush.
You didn't.
And he got into Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and then started, of course, Led Zeppelin and all the everything else that followed, the Who, and then later on, then you had coming up, then you had Van Halen hit, and you were like, what is that? Wow! And you had Rush, and you're like, wow, what is that? It's so many different. You had Genesis, and you had there was so much out there back then. And those musicians were so talented because I play like Bee Gees. You want to be a good bass player? Go play some Bee Gees music one time, and you can play bass like a mojo. Try it out, all you bass players. Go play some Bee Gees one time.
What's funny is I was talking to the backup singer for Barry Gibb, Charlotte McKinnon. She's been on the podcast, and I said, "Is there a possibility you can get me to talk to Barry Gibb? Yeah, because he's out there in my neck of the woods, living in Fort Lauderdale, around that area." Right. And man, I said, could you get me to talk to him, because that would be great to talk to a Gibb, but she hasn't gotten back to me on that yet. So Charlotte, if you're listening,
I hope he gets back to you, man. I hope he does.
I mean, for today, man, we're talking to Codie Westwood for sure, man, of the Creatures of Clay band, and that's the latest project that you had. But what were the first projects that you were doing? When you were a 17-year-old kid, you said you were doing cover bands mostly. What kind of gigs did you get with them?
Well, got in the habit of singing Bon Scott, and I like to do AC/DC. So I did a lot of AC/DC cover bands for a long time, and just messing around with that, And a lot of people enjoyed that kind of stuff, So I did that because I really couldn't sing that great. That's all I could really do. So I mainly played bass a lot too to fill in the void for the AC/DC stuff. Because I wouldn't do it all the time because I wear myself out. Because that's kind of hard to do.
That's hard on your vocals, man.
Yeah, but that's kind of where my voice came from. Really, is from doing that. I just changed it up and put a little twang to it and just worked it, took some lessons and just changed it around. But I like to play the bass and do that. But my main thing is really writing songs. I write songs all the time. I mean, I continuously write songs. I have songs I'm doing for this rapper that I know, and I'm working on side projects too. I got all kinds of stuff on. But I just like to write music, and that's what I do. I just make it up. I could sit there, you and I, if you were a musician, I'd come in and be like, all right, man, let's sit down. All right, we're going to be in G. Ready? Go. I'm going to do this, and you come up with something.
No,
I'll just make it up on the fly and then see if something comes out.
no limits. Listening to your music, I'm hearing some rock and punk and stuff. But then you say that you're writing songs for the hip hop artist. Who you writing for?
I got a surprise. It's going to come out later. His name is Brandon. I'm not going to get into it too much. I found him. He's really, really good. But what I want to do is I want to mix it up. I want to take my style of music with a little rock edge to it and put it in with the rap. Kind of like Linkin Park, but not like them. But it'll be in that vein.
Well, that was something that was definitely going on in the 90s is they were mixing genres. You'd have a
Right.
little scratching on a rock song. And even
Yeah.
before that, I think it was AC/DC and no, that was Aerosmith and
Aerosmith and Run
DMC.
DMC. Yeah. Yeah.
When
Walk
they
this
did
way.
that Walk This Way version, my goodness, that changed the world. And as far as music, it said, hey, you know what? You don't have to limit yourself to just one genre. You can mix things up, man. And
Well,
that
I thought that was going to go away, though. It never went away.
I'm so glad it did not go away, man. It's what makes it helped to make you who you are as well, where you can be primarily in the rock genre, but still write for a hip hop artist. You have no limits in your head, and I like that, man. I like that
I
about
just like the music. I just like doing music, my friend. I mean, I want to put out. My goal was to put out 10 songs, and that were good, that everybody will like. And I'm going to put all 10 songs on the radio, on internet radio, not major. And so far, I have all 8 songs. So if the next 2 songs go out, and I get these 2 on the next, I get them on the radio. I'm going to have all 10 songs on the radio being played all over the world, which is fantastic. I love it.
Man, that's got to make you feel good, Cody
Yes.
Westwood. It has to. And then when you play them out in gigs, I mean, I'm guessing. Well, when did you start the Creatures of Clay? When
Uh,
did that project start?
well, I recorded October, laid down October 2018 is when it started. I put up a Twitter account on December 2018. So a year with so year and a half right now, and with Veronica a year. So I was 6 months, and then with Veronica a year. A
And
year and a half. That's about it. I've
what
gotten this far pretty far in a year and a half.
what part of the band does Veronica play? Is she mostly the promotions, or is she?
Yeah, she's interesting story. I'll let you in on this one. Okay, there was a band. I call them the Vultures. That's not their name, but we'll just call them the Vultures right now. They were very mean to her, and I didn't like it. But I came to her just to get a logo because I was trying to figure what I was going to do. She did such a nice job. She got to talk to me. I said, "What's going on?" So she told me. So they weren't nice. So I said, "I'll tell you what. She wasn't doing too good. She was having a little rough time in her area." I said I was doing good. I was working 80 hours. I mean, I had a lot going on. I was making decent money. I said, all right, I'll pay you to promote me for a little while and do all my graphics and stuff like that and help me do the website. So she did everything for me. I paid her, and now she pays me. So I don't have to, she's actually making a living now. And before she was the type of person that was, trying to doing graphics for bands, and they're really cheap too. She had really good prices, and it's like $20 to do a little thing for them, stuff like that. And I was like, wow, that's really cheap. I said, you need to be a little bit more expensive.
Well, that's what
But
happened.
I kind of moved her up a little bit, and then now because I like Veronica so much, I gave her half of Creatures of Play on the website. So she owns with me half of the website. So that's why she promotes me so much. So if you're wondering, yeah, that's why. Because she's
That
half owner.
that sounds like a very good deal, man. Sounds like it's good to have people that work with you and that are going to stick by you. You're wanting to
Yeah.
get the music out. You got 8 songs out there so far. The other 2 songs, when are they coming out?
Well, I'm getting ready to record the next one. The next one, I mean, it should be probably in this end of this month. I hope to get it done. My engineer, Mr. Grant, he's down the ocean right now. Now, Mr. Grant, he's a fantastic player. John is down. Well, he's down the ocean. He's a professional musician, so that's what he gets to do that for a living. He's been doing that since the early '90s, I guess. And he just decided one day that's what he was going to do, and he just did it. And now he makes some type of microphone too. I forgot what that was, but he makes a professional living. So I go to him. It's a lot of money. I get a little bit cheaper than others because I've worked with him before. But if you're a regular pay, it's $100 an hour. And you're doing 10 hours, that's $1,000. So doing songs sometimes are very expensive, and it depends what studio you go to. I've been in other studios that were about $1,500 an hour when somebody else was working the bill. So
Yeah, that's what
not
comes with
cheap for
experience.
musicians. It's
No,
not
that's
cheap.
what comes with experience. Once you find a good niche, somebody with a good ear. Yeah, I can record somebody, no problem. I have the equipment to record somebody, but I don't have that ear to where I say, oh, let me bring up the bass guitar. Let me bring down the drums a little bit. Oh, that kick is putting a little ruffle in there. I need to bring that down. I need to adjust this
Yeah,
microphone. You got to have the
that's
right ear.
very critical. That's very critical. And a lot of guys, let me just say, if you're getting in this, that's what you need. You need somebody good. You can't have. I listen to a lot of recordings of people send me their music and I listen to it and it's not recorded well. Song might be good, but the recording's like a hack. So you really need to search around and get somebody that has an ear because you might not have one either. You might not have an ear. You might be good at doing songs, but you might not be good at hearing and producing and stuff like that. But you might be good at writing it. You know what I mean? So there's talent in everything. You got to use people for their talent.
Yeah, Cody.
I happen to do I have a lot of recording experience,
No,
and that's why the songs turn out this way. And you said the bass. The reason why it's so bass heavy, it's because that's my fault. I don't want to apologize because I'm a bass player, and I kind of kind of made it like this new one. We did if you listen to the bass lines and All Alone, it's kind of like Geddy Lee would do, stuff like that.
oh
It's
yeah.
pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah. The song when do you have you listened to this one yet? All
Which
Alone.
one? All Alone? Yeah, I've listened to all 8 of your songs so
Okay.
far. The ones that are coming up and down your Twitter feed and
Right, right.
on your YouTube page for sure, man.
Does that bother? You think does that bother people? They know that I'm, creatures of clay. Do you think I try to every now and again put out a nature? I don't know if you see any of that, but I don't want to kill people with my songs all the time. But that's what I do. That's what I designed the site for. So I mean, I guess that's what you expect when you follow me. That's what you see. So I don't want to bore everybody all the time with it. 'Cause, I mean, that's why I make different videos in the feed.
Well, they know what they're coming to when they want to follow Cody Westwood. They're going to find some good music or something a little bit different than what's out there on the radio that they're listening to in their cars. Maybe something they could put on their Spotify playlist and pipe it through their car radio system or their headphones. And while they're jogging, they can be listening to your music as opposed to anybody else's. Just add it to the
Right.
add it to the list. Give it some flavor. I mean, I tell you, man, it's got you're talking about the rock stations out there that aren't putting rock out anymore.
Right.
I guess there's a truth to that, but you do have a style of music that is all your own. It's a mixture of all these different flavors that you've
Right.
already alluded to. Stuff that you grew up with, that your uncle turned you on to as well. And I think about the DJs that were around back in the 50s and 60s, and that's how people got their music on, is they had a promoter that was kind of like what Veronica's doing for you, except they'd have to physically take the record over to the DJ at the radio station and maybe add a little green meal to it, and put a little a little fiver in with that record so they'd play that song. But
It was
thank you don't
it
have
was
it.
a tough deal. It was these it was these people they were tough cookies. It was not an easy business. Everybody thinks it's so glamorous and wonderful. I've been in some joints playing. That's come in, it smells like piss. You just a dressing room or whatever you're supposed to be in, like this is the backstage. Where this is the backstage. We're all cramped next to each other. One guy's smoking, like, hey man, can you go outside? Yeah, I've seen some stuff. It's not glamorous. I don't think that music's always glamorous all the time. Some of these places were pretty nasty, actually.
It's
But
not, man. It's not.
you know,
There's some
it's
seedy
not easy.
clubs out there. You think about some people say, "Oh, you're in the green room. Oh, that sounds so exciting. I'm in the green
Uh,
room," and the green room consists of like one folding chair and
right,
a
right.
bottle of water, maybe.
I used to tell people, hey, look, I'm not the Beatles.
A lot of people, would say, "Oh, you have a writer where you have to have fruit and M&Ms and make sure that the right stuff is." No, you
Oh, it's
sometimes.
the wrong temperature. Take it back. Yeah, right. You're lucky you get the end of the night. You're like the bar tab. Like the bar tab's 292. Hey, George, you drank too many shots.
Oh, that's just the subplot of the Blues Brothers is they,
Right, 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 right.
more than they made,
Oh yeah, that was that definitely. That's what it was. That's what it was like too. So, but today, man, the technology is so cool. That's one of the reasons why I did what I did, because I love the fact that you can just put it out for free, and if people make a choice now, if they like you, they like you. If they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? Hey, move on to the next, right? So instead of having a record label saying, "All right, Cody, I need you to wear these tight jeans tonight and these blah blah whatever," it's like, oh bummer. I can do what I want. I can write what I want. I can push it out how I want. I can look the way I want. I think it's so much fun. It's just me and Veronica. So it's like, yeah, cool, yeah, it's just me and her.
I mean, Cody,
That's
you
it.
you say you're putting out the music for free, but ultimately you'd like to make some money off of this. I mean, are you
Yeah.
able to put it on Spotify or Apple iTunes and
Well,
people
I
buy?
I disagree by going now. I don't want to pay. My thing is, it's like I always is like, look, I'm not paying somebody for me to play my music. What I'll do is I'll put it on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I've actually taken signs with speakers with my truck, sat at Arita's on the side right there, and sold a bunch of downloads. Because if you go to my website, I'm selling my downloads. They're only $1.50 for a download to support Creatures of Clay. And right now, my album's $12 for all 8 songs. And when I have 10 songs, it'll be $15 for an album, which is not bad, for to have 10 songs that are decent that you can listen to. And it's a good album. It's not going to be an album where there's one good song and that's it. You're buying 10 good songs. Or you can just buy one song that you like. So that's how I set it up. And yes, I sell albums every day and I sell downloads every day. And it's been a great ride because it hasn't even been up a year. I have over almost 5,500 hits already on my website. I'm
That
very, very excited.
great, man. I mean, and what I miss about records growing up was the artwork, Cody Westwood. I mean, do you have somebody doing artwork on your album?
Right now on the downloads, there's no artwork. She's done all of the things for me, all the graphic designs. If you go on my website, you can see all the stuff that Veronica's done. I'm gonna have other things done if I am popular, which I'm hoping that I will be after the 10 songs come out. I will put out a CD. I'm gonna call it Infected, and I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it's a bracelet, and you can take the bracelet, the ones that you put on your hand, and it goes around, it
Yes.
slaps on,
Yeah, slap
and
bracelet.
yeah, it actually has a USB in it, and you can just take it and plug it in anywhere, and it has all my songs on it. And that's what my CD is going to be. It's going to be called Infected, and it'll be something tangible that you can have instead of like downloads. Because technology today, CDs are kind of out. I mean, if you ask a kid, you got a CD player, they're like, "That's like 2002, dude."
If they were even around, man, it's all downloads. It's
Hey,
all on
hey,
your iPhone.
I remember 8 tracks, brother.
Of course, man. I mean, my 8 tracks. Let's see. I can remember the first ones I had. I had, let's see, the Eagles' greatest hits. I had
Oh
Stevie
yeah,
Wonder's Superstitious, and then I had Steve Martin's Wild and Crazy Guy. Those are my
I
three,
remember that.
first three records, 1975.
Great banjo player, man. I love Steve Martin.
Dude, he just came out the other day. I shared one of his videos where he's playing banjo a couple days ago. He's all about banjo now. He's not even doing comedy anymore. I think he did
Cool.
one thing with Martin Short. It was like Steve Martin short hour or something like that. But
Oh, that's neat, man. Good for him. He's good. I like Steve Martin. He's always been funny. I
oh,
always liked the one when he was the poor black child.
oh, that's it, man. That's The Jerk. That's one of the greatest films ever made. He was born a poor black child, and that
Poor
was in his
black
comedy
child.
routine way before that. But they just incorporated that into that movie, and it just yeah.
He's just a classic, man. The stuff back then was all classic. So it was cool.
I don't know if it would ride still. Can you still say you were born a poor black child if you were a white man?
I mean, I'd be afraid to say anything today.
But the whole premise of the movie was he was raised by some black people. So I thought that
Yeah,
was,
right, right.
you know, and then he took care of them after a while when he made his money. So that's, I mean, and you've already alluded that you have some kind of a family. You got some kids there. You
Oh
got,
yeah, I have two children. I have a daughter and I have a son.
oh, well, you can brag on them. This is your free time as we wind down a little bit. You know, we've learned a little bit about you, Codie Westwood, and the Creatures, the Creatures of Clay band, and that's the website, Creatures of Play.
Yeah,
Creatures.
creatures that play theband.com. That's it right there.
Make sure
Come
you put
check
that
it
in the,
out. There's all kinds of news. You're going to be on the news. I'm going to put you in there and the link to click onto this. So everybody checking
absolutely.
this out. If I become famous like your thing says there, and I take off, you never know. I might just be out there all over the world, and that's going to be on there, and people are going to look at your stuff and check you out.
That's what it is. Conceivably, this could be heard by people all over the world. But you see, what is the name of my radio station, and what makes you famous? So it's kind of a double
Yeah,
meaning when you
I
think.
like it. It's cool. I checked you out. I, I enjoy all the publicity and everything. I enjoy tweeting everybody out. We try to get everybody, so we'll be pushing you out too. And Veronica's really good at doing that stuff. She's like the pro, man. So she could probably do it so fast that we would make our heads swim. She's probably doing 100 things.
That's what we're supposed to be doing once we get to a certain age, is helping each other, helping other people out. Because, when I was younger, it certainly wasn't the case, man. I used to step on necks trying to get on the way up, because I
Yeah.
thought that was the way to do it. But no, I realized with age, you got to help people as you're going on the way up. And I see that you're already helping new artists come out. You've alluded the secret surprise that there's a hip hop artist coming out that you're going to be helping out. But is that what you're going to be doing once you put out your 10 songs? Is trying to
Um,
put
no, if I'm popular, I already have the other album finished. Finished my second album. So this album's done, and my second album's already in my mind ready. I just haven't done it. Been to the recording studio. So if I'm really doing really well and things work out with the downloads and I'm selling, I'm gonna go ahead into the studio and do that in the winter and probably get the next album out and have it ready in a couple years, probably. So that way, because I want to push this album out for a little while. Because I mean, I got good. If I get all 10 songs on the radio, which I really think I'm going to, the next two songs are pretty decent. Everybody's told me so. So I was like, okay. So if I get these two on, I have all 10 on. That looks really good. I move up a little bit on the ladder. Um, I sell a lot of downloads. I get a good fan base. I'm doing really well, and then bang, I'll put another album out. In the meantime, the side project is just a side project for this guy. I'm going to help him out because he's really good. And stay tuned because I'll be tweeting him out later, down the road. But right now, I'm helping him write his songs. He doesn't have the experience of the recording aspect of it, but he's really good at doing like listening to me on certain things, and I had my meeting with him, and I did a couple things with him, and I showed him, and he did really well, and he has 2 weeks to prove to me he can pull it off. And if it works really well, and he does what I asked, and he sends it to me, and it sounds decent, I'll go back up there and I'll finish up the chorus line for him and the bridge. But he has to do the verses. I gave him the idea when I left. I spent like 3 hours with him actually a couple nights ago. So if he does really well with it and he does good in those two verses, which I think he will, he's really into it. He was 13 when he started. He's 28 now, and he's got the look and everything. So, but I want to teach him how to be better than what he's doing. So and then put my talents with him and everything. It's going to be neat. It's going to be a cool project. So I'm looking forward to it with that kid. But
well, Codie
other
Westwood,
than that, I'm
I
sorry.
hope that's the beginning. I hope that's the first of many projects of people
Oh
that
yeah,
you bring up behind you because you're a seasoned talent. You've been doing this for more than 30 years, man. So
yeah.
so obviously you have something to give to others. It's our job now to start teaching other people about
If
what
I
we know.
see some talent, if I see talent and I recognize talent and they're interested, but it was weird. I ran in. No, I always say nothing's a coincidence and everything's sacred, and I really believe that everything happens for a reason. Even us talking this evening, something comes out of everything, for you and me.
Yeah.
Everything's sacred. When you meet people, when you talk to people, and you have a conversation with them, right? Would you agree?
Absolutely, my man. I mean, I started this thing off. There's no money to be made when you're first starting a podcast, for sure. But what I
Uh,
wanted was to drill into people's heads and to gain some knowledge. And in turn, while I'm at it, might as well give some other people knowledge. Anybody who cares to listen, they're going to get some knowledge from Codie Westwood and find out more about what makes you tick. How did you get to where you are? And I haven't forgot about that acting foray. When you went out to California, what did you do, man? Did you try out for any movies or commercials or anything?
well, I got a job. Of course, I think I was like a bus boy or something in the beginning. I went out for a couple things. I tried. I tell you, getting up in front of people, trying to be somebody you're not, and it just wasn't my talent to be an actor. I don't know. You've seen my videos. I'm not all that.
You're a pretty man, so don't let anybody fool you, man. Anybody's watching this video that knows you're
That's
liquor.
cool,
You're
man.
liquor.
It's all good. It's all good. I enjoy. I've been enjoying life. It's been a lot of fun. Listen, to me, really is to do the music. Yeah, being to make a living at. Hey, that's cool. Everybody like, I want to make $1 million, and I was like, hey, that'd be great. Hey, fantastic. Good luck. Okay, for me, really personally, in all honesty, I love the fact that you are listening to my music and talking to me about it. I love the fact that people are right now listening to my song, one of them that they bought, and in their car. That makes me so happy. That to me is awesome, and I'm bewildered about it. Actually, I'm just like, yeah, yeah, man, cool, yeah. I can't even believe it. Sometimes I pinch myself. Is that really happening? Because that's so cool. That's the coolest part of it for me. Definitely.
Definitely has to be a jazz right there, man. It's to
Yeah.
create something out of nothing, something that came from your mind and you put it out into
Uh,
the world and you birthed it. Okay, I mean, I can only equate it like maybe a small part of the feeling that a woman has when she gives birth to a baby is you're putting this out to the world. I can't even imagine what a woman giving birth to a baby. Don't get me wrong. And that's the most magical thing in the whole wide world is a woman giving birth to a baby. Hold on. Yeah, I'm still in Zoom. So
All
we can,
right, there you go.
yeah, we can stay in Zoom. So I usually finish these things off with like last words for the people, unless you have some other avenues that you want to explore. I mean, do you have anything else that you want
I
to?
don't know. You have any questions for me or anything that you would like me to answer that you might be interested in?
Man, we probably should have done it like this the whole time. Your audio sounds so much better.
Oh, I apologize. I will. If I ever talk to you again, I'm gonna get like a really cool mic
Uh-huh.
or something like something like you had or something that I could fit and figure out that you could actually hear me.
No,
And a nice
actually,
speaker.
yeah, this sounds a whole lot better, man. You talking on the phone. All right, for the
So
people.
you want to do? You want to redo it?
Yeah. No, I'm sure we'll catch up with each other as time progresses over the years. When you put those other two songs out, I definitely want to talk to you about those for sure.
All right, cool.
And then
I think you'll really like them. I think that you'll like them. They're pretty decent. Now I can actually see. Before I had the phone, so I was trying to listen to you. I couldn't see and talk to you, so I could see you now.
oh man, this is
Got a
so
nice
much
smile
better.
on your face there.
Well, I've been enjoying myself talking to you, Codie Westward, and give the people a last idea of how to get a hold of you. Beside, I mean, we'll start with the website and then work your way out socially from there.
All right. Excuse me. Of course, Twitter at Codie Westwood, Codie Westwood. You have Veronica Gilson, who's also at Rover at 123 or something. But you can find her through the website. The website is Creatures of Clay at theband.com. You can also find Creatures of Clay. Just put it in YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. That pops up. And you can put my name, Codie Westwood, in Codie in Google and pop me up, and you can find everything about me, all the interviews and all that stuff. And this will be on our website. And I want to thank you too for having me. I'm really honored. This is awesome. For me, I love doing this
Oh,
to promote the band and to get it going. And let's see what happens. I'm excited.
Well, I appreciate that. And it looks like you have another interview that's popping up tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually have 4 this month. I didn't get any for months and months and months, and then now all of a sudden I have 4, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I love talking about Creatures of Clay and my experience in music, and I've always I have so many stories, because I'm old, so older, or age is just it's a number. So you feel good, you keep doing your thing, and you just keep going, man, till you're dead. Just keep doing your thing as much as you can.
Oh, it's feast and famine, man. People want you, and then they don't want you, and then hopefully they want you again. So, yeah, I think you're a wanted man, Mr. Codie Westwood. And so, as we finish
for
this
right
thing,
now, buddy.
yeah, as we finish this things out, I usually finish with last words for the people. So, Codie Westwood, it could be some words to live by, something that you heard back in the past, that something thoughtful, or just whatever pops into your head at this particular moment in time. Codie Westwood, last words for the people.
I just want to thank everybody that's buying my downloads. And if you have something you believe in your life and you truly, really want to do it, don't give up. Remember, I've been doing this for a long time. That's it.
Well, there you have it, party people. Codie Westwood of the Creatures of Clay Band. Had a few technical difficulties in there, but for the most part, we got the idea. We got an idea of who he is and how he became who he is. I was pretty excited to talk to Codie Westwood. Thank you so much for being on the program. What makes you famous? I look forward to talking to you more and more as time progresses. Yes, hanging out here and talking to the people and picking their brains and learning more about how people become who they are. Everyone has a story. And if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call at 501-470-6386 or email info@radiowhat.com. That's it for me. It's Keys Dan, radiowhat.com, djlittlerock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.